Happy birthday, dear Remi Tinubu. We owe you so much. Yesterday was the birthday of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and apparently the citizens owe her a lot, according to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, her husband, who celebrated her dutifully. It was supposed to be a beautiful celebration, but then it sparked a lot of negative reaction online, saying that what do Nigerians actually owe the president? Welcome to the morning break. I am Abbas Muhammad.
And I'm Barry to the world.
And I'm Mohammed Kabir.
Today we go into so much topics and interesting gists that happen around the country and internationally. The president's wife's birthday was yesterday, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and there were a lot of reactions online saying, what does the president mean by she owes him a lot? And the analysis here is that, yes, the First Lady deserves to be celebrated. She's the first female image of the country. And at the same time, also, she has been a supporting wife to her husband, and she has been an established senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But then the citizens are asking, what really do we owe her in this sense? What does the president mean? Is he being quoted out of context, or does he actually mean what he says, saying she has served the nation so much and she has been a pillar in his life and she owes the country so much? Oh, sorry, the country owes her so much, which we do not really understand the context. Barry, what do you think about this statement from the president?
No, first time when I heard this particular statement, I was wondering whether we're in trouble again, because owing her again. Because I already know about the 149 trillion debt that Nigeria is in. Well, I was hoping to God that we're not owing more, because I really do not have that amount to pay. But I found out that he's talking about the role that his wife plays, the supporting role. I mean, it's not easy to be the second lady. I mean, the first lady actually. My bad. Okay. The first lady of Nigeria. It's not easy at all. It's a huge responsibility. You actually have to, the role that you play in also keeping the president balanced on the home front is a lot, because he goes through a lot, and then she has to, even if she's going through certain things, she has to push aside what she's going through and just calm him down, you know. These are the things, and they manage certain things at the home front, do this, do that, and then you're saying that, you know what, she's doing a terrific job, and we owe her a lot, that whatever it is that the president is doing for the country, however well he's performing, it is due to Remi Tinubu's impact in his life. And so I just wish her a 65th birthday. I mean, she looks so young for 65.
Well, there's a lot of 65 out there, and hers is really outstanding. And, you know, this brings to light, you know, as you mentioned, you know, she deserves to be celebrated. Being the senator representing constituency in Lagos State, she has achieved so much, you know, ranging from, she co-sponsored a bill in 2013 seeking special economic status for Lagos State as the former capital. And also, she sponsored a bill to amend the Labour Act to enhance employment opportunities and improve conditions for women in the workplace. She supported the elderly, sponsored legislation to provide social security for elderly citizens in the country. And also in 2021, she proposed a bill to reform the Nigerian Postal Service. And, you know, these are a lot of achievements. Yes, she should be celebrated. But I believe that should have been on Nigerians' own terms, because this now sparked a lot of reactions. Like we mentioned earlier, Nigerians are complaining that what really do we owe the First Lady of the nation? Like Barry mentioned, we are owing in trillions already. The country is owing in trillions. So why are we still owing more? What debt did we incur without our knowledge or without our consent? And it's now giving a highlight on the present situation of the country. How, for example, the World Bank estimates the projection for 2024 and 2025, the projected poverty rate of the country is on over 54% of Nigerians are living below the poverty line. This is a significant increase from the 40.1 record in 2018. So you see, from 40 to 54 under the president regime. So really, what really is the support? What really is he talking about? Is he trying to say that the First Lady's actions are separate from his own actions as the president? KB, what do you really think about that?
Firstly, I would say I shall know I'm debt free. I owe nobody anything. But I understand this is a good moment for the president trying to celebrate his spouse that they've been together for quite a long time. But I think the media team, the president's media team, needs to do better. If I would ask you, is there anything to celebrate right now in Nigeria? Do we have anything to celebrate? Is there any cause for celebration?
I mean, it's her 65th birthday.
Did you go for the birthday
just-
party?
My bad.
Was
my
there
bad.
you
was there a
invited?
birthday party? Were you there?
I wasn't
Perhaps there was
there,
something you
but-
saw there, that you celebrated that we are not aware of, so that Nigerians will know.
I mean, she saw the hardships of Nigeria, and then she said that she's going to take a different way to celebrate Nigeria rather than being, self-centered. I mean, it's her birthday; she ought to celebrate herself. But she was like, rather than do that, let me channel this to a cause. And she said she was going to take up the completion of the National Library, which is a very, very good one. And she has education has always been in her heart. So I think this is it's a good notion. I mean, she's not being self-centered, although she has every right to be on her birthday, but she isn't being that. She's thinking about being the mother of a nation as well. So this is basically what Tinubu is talking about, being that kind of person, being selfless, so to speak. And I applaud that.
I understand whereby these points are going, but in a state whereby there's high rise of insecurity, do you think right now it's library that is our problem? When most people, how many people read? How many people have time to read? If I want to read, I'll probably go online and get a soft copy of that I read. So what I want to actually look at is we're in a time of high rise of unemployment, high rise banditry, economic turmoil. What's the cause to celebrate? Some people were just kidnapped last week. Upper week, some people were just kidnapped. If you are celebrating your wife, somebody's wife has been kidnapped last week. How do you feel? What do you think you'd feel? It's quite insensitive for the media team to comment. I understand though he wants to celebrate his wife. There are ways to do it. He can do it personally, but at this kind of time where somebody's wife was kidnapped last week, you won't just come and put something. How do you think you'd feel? So I think the media, they should,
his wife.
honestly, while your own wife was kidnapped last week, and your president is celebrating his wife, how about you? Where's your own? She's in the bush with headsmen, with bandits. So it's quite insensitive for the media team of the president to be putting something at this kind of moment when we're having such drastic circumstances happening in the country. So the media team needs to actually do better to look at a perfect timing to push something like this. Not while some people, 55 people were kidnapped in Zamfara, in the mosques, some people were kidnapped in Katsina, then some people's wives, some people's mothers, then you come and be celebrating your own. I think the media team of the president needs to understand that there are times where things like this can spark issues. And he's saying I owe nobody anything. I owe nobody anything. Happy birthday to her. But you won't just come and push the narrative that we owe her something, honestly. So I think it's quite insensitive for the government to push something like this at this type of time.
I mean, I don't owe her anything, but
maybe Mo does.
I don't owe her anything, but I think sometimes we have to separate the office from the person. Sometimes he is a husband, he is a father, rather than just the president. So we need to understand that apart from these other roles, this is also the kind of person he has to be to his wife, so that despite the fact that he's controlling things on the state level, on the federal level, he also gets to keep his home as well. You don't want his wife resenting him due to his negligence or anything. At least let her still feel some form of love from him also. So I don't know.
Yeah, that really gives me the idea of we should learn to keep our private moments private, Yes, it's something to be celebrated, but then nobody would have really been bothered if this moment was kept privately. He would have celebrated, he would have gone out of it to celebrate her in magnanimous ways without dragging Nigerians into it. Because, this issue of bringing things to social media, it's always controversial. Personally, I feel like it's always controversial because now he made a harmless post. To him, in his opinion, that's harmless. But, like KB mentioned, saying, woe to the media team for really allowing something like this to come out, knowing what really is going on in the country and what people think of in social media. Because this brought about past events of the First Lady, it's like issues like her, let me call it her beef when she was a senator with Dino Melaye, where she was tearing shirts, where it was violent and whatnot. And then video of her, talking about not trusting Igbos back then during the elections. These issues are really things of her past. These are really things she should not be coming up during her birthday. Is there something that, okay, it might have come as an oversight? It's something of her past, probably her erring moments. And it shouldn't really be coming on her birthday. That should have been a fruitful, celebratory day. But the Nigerians are bringing issues like this because they feel like since you are bringing them into your personal issue, then we will also comment on what we think we can comment on. You understand? And it's really unnecessary, to be very frank. It's really unnecessary. We should celebrate the First Lady, but then at the same time, they should also consider the situation of the country and what Nigerians actually think, especially on social media, where things can really get violent. Moving on to the issue of security. Gunmen kill soldier and abduct 4 Chinese nationals in Kogi State. Issue of banditry, issue of gunmen, known or unknown. Because this at this point we can call it both known and unknown, because at some point we'll give them a title, we'll give a certain group, we'll give them a name and say these are the known people, we'll give them a title. And then at some point we'll say they are unknown. But then when these issues are targeting specific type of people, we cannot call them unknown again. We cannot just call them gunmen. These people have a motive, these people have an ideology. And including 4 Chinese nationals for a private company in your nation, that really is a slap. If you have not taken it seriously when it is your own citizens, would you not take it more seriously when it is coming from foreigners? I'm picking on the issue of how this paints the image of the country out there. This is not the first time we've seen foreigners in our country, being abducted. These are people who came to do business, who came to help in their own way in building your economy, bringing in their own resources, and they have their own country. It's not as if they cannot build it there. No, they can build their own nation there, but then they decide to come because you have good diplomatic relations with their country. But then what do you think this would be? What image would it paint to this country that are having good diplomatic relations with when their citizens are not safe in your own country? Kebi?
I would like to cite a very simple example. Our natural lives. When you are fighting within your house with your siblings and probably you can beat everybody, the next thing you'd want to do is to explore outside and look for somebody that so you've already dominated, you can beat everybody in the house, then the next thing you'd want to do is to go outside and look for some new adventure. So what's this trend of unknown or known gunmen kidnapping foreigners? You see, this is a whole picture that they are stronger than our security operatives. Just to be straightforward, that's the whole picture. Since now, we saw this thing happen a few weeks ago, and is it Edo or Benue, where they killed 8 NSCDC officials and they stole them, and then they kidnapped a foreigner. There was no repercussion, there was no consequence to their actions. Up to now, we've not heard, okay, they've caught them, okay, this guy has been recovered, okay, then nothing. Then that's why these people, they feel like, okay, since nothing have happened, it's a repeated action. So does this mean we're going to see more of this if there's no consequence to their actions? And this thing look at the end result, the end game of this whole stuff. Don't you think this is going to affect foreigners from coming to Nigeria to either work or invest? Don't the government think this is going to affect them? And lastly, we see the point I would want to highlight. You see, when you go on social media right now and insult a high-ranking government official, they know where to find you. If you like, go back, go under your wife's bed. They know where to find you. But why not now? We saw a few weeks ago, a few days ago, DSS, that this is what they're supposed to do. But they are there threatening, filing a case against Sowore. Meanwhile, see people that they have the intelligence. Because like few months ago, I saw during last regime, some months ago, I'll say a lot of months ago, the wife of former president, when a university student insulted her on Twitter, they went to his school. They picked him up. But now they don't know where to go and pick these ones up. And what's the picture? Which picture is this painting?
Still on this, like you mentioned, the DSS could actually do a lot. Like how we've seen how they captured Gentle Diao just a few days ago. They captured Gentle Diao. The DSS, along with the military, traced this man to the center of, because when I saw the environment of where his picture was taken, it was like a center of a bush. They tracked him there, they traced him there, and they arrested him. And this raises a lot of questions, because in Kogi alone, in 2022, there have been abduction of Chinese nationals. In 2023, also, we've seen a situation of Chinese expatriates, and this paints the image of the country in a very bad light. We've seen how foreign countries, like the United States, like Canada, they give circulars through their embassies. They send circulars to their citizens residing in Nigeria that so states are no-go areas. How we've seen how Boko Haram attacks Borno. We've seen in Zamfara how we're always having issues of bandits and kidnappers. We do not want Kogi to have that image also, because when you're having a series of recurring events in this manner with the government not doing anything without solution, it's painting the image of that particular area in a certain light. And these people also have their own spies here, because I'll call them spies, because we've seen a situation where in Borno, when a US citizen was kidnapped or abducted, I think, by bandits, by terrorists, and the USS sent their Navy SEALs down to the country. They performed a very swift operation, recovered their citizen, and they left. Now, what kind of image does this tell other countries? When we are having the likes of China, tomorrow night it might be Canadian citizens with their contact, or it might be Lebanese. Would they start sending their own forces because ours are incapable of doing their job? Would they start sending their own forces to the country to recover their own citizens? And what kind of image does this paint of the country? And it is very, very wrong, because the more these events are happening, the more they are recurring in this type of manner, it is going to say, we are not capable, send in your people. And from this part of from this kind of acts, from this kind of moves, the citizens themselves will start seeking help from these foreign countries. Okay, since our people, from our own security forces as Nigerians cannot help us, we as Nigerians will start seeking external help, saying, oh yes, please help us. My neighbor, my friend, my sibling was kidnapped. Please help us. We've seen how you've done this for your own citizens in our country. Our own people are not capable. And you can see how this might become an issue for the country.
Yeah.
It can become a serious issue for the
Seriously,
country.
You see,
very, very
even
serious
as an
issue.
investor right now, and as a friend, you invest in a place, and maybe I invest in a place, and all they do is to come and boggle my shop. If I hear you want to come and do it, what will I tell you? The answer is run away. You don't do it. So if this keeps happening, even other people that are willing to come and invest, these are the things that
It
will tell
raise
them
up
this
foreign
place is not safe. Do
investors.
not come and waste your resources, because they might even kidnap your people.
I mean,
Because
we
this is
just
the picture that's painting, honestly.
Yeah, and we just talked about recently on Friday that Nigeria is not easy to do business in. Now it's not safe to do business in, because even foreign nationals are not spared from this. The foreign nationals, I actually love their names. Zhao Dansu, Zhao Hai, Zhao Jiajun, Fan Zunjo.
Hope you did not bite your tongue while pronouncing.
Did I do
Well,
well?
the federal
But I
government
tried, sha.
has approved the teaching of Chinese language now, the Mandarin language here in Nigeria. Probably she has started attending night classes,
this
because the way she effortlessly called those names, I would have bit my tongue.
you see, like I said few weeks ago, I said, is this why? Have you ever gone to China and they're approving our own language? Abi, is it a way of repaying our loans? Because like
Now,
I said, one day,
for me,
is
it's
this
all
no?
about,
You have to look at it from different angles.
for me,
Is
it's all
this
about
there's
the
a possibility-
diplomatic.
China.
It's all about the diplomatic relations to me. They are keeping good terms. Nigeria teaching a language, but what kind of message are you sending to China now, saying, okay, we're accepting your language, we're accepting your citizens to come and go, like Val company now, Val and Co mining company, just one of many companies.
Barry might wake up and she'll start wearing kimono. To honest, she might start wearing
I
Chinese
reckon,
dresses.
what you
She
do?
might start wearing Chinese dresses.
Val and Co mining company is just one of many companies here in the country that are here bringing in their own equipment, bringing in their own funds to put, because it's not as if they just only employ Chinese nationals. They can't bring in all their people here to work here. They employ Nigerians too. And the economic repercussion of this, their own citizens, their own heads being abducted by unknown gunmen in this situation, by unknown gunmen, is that they will take their business elsewhere. Like KB mentioned, they will take their business elsewhere. And it is going to be a kind of repellent for other companies now from other countries, or from China alone too, to send in their people saying, okay, you can come here to do business, it's safe, it's this, it's that. Normally you are saying, okay, it's just the citizens, we that are foreigners who are giving extra protection. But then if you as a foreigner is also being abducted alongside the citizens, then nobody's actually safe. There is no extra measure being taken because yes, the security forces have said they have mobilized both vigilantes, citizens, civilians, hunters, and even the security forces all to go in and look for them. But then at the end of the day, this is just a temporary solution. Even if they are found, this is just a temporary solution to a bigger problem in the situation. And still moving on the security of issue of security insecurity. Bandits hold press. Bandits hold press briefing and warns government to. You see, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. We have moved on from foreign nationals being abducted. You see the audacity that these people are having.
Now
They have thought that they can.
another bigger competition.
Exactly. Now they are warning the federal government to back off. Like, okay, this is our land, this is our territory. It's moving like a gang war. You know how you see in GTA where you're having the Crips of red and we have the Crips of green saying, do not come to our territory. This is our territory. This is our land. The police have no say. You, the government, have no say. We determine what happens here, whereby even the citizens are compliant to these gangs. That's basically what these bandits are saying, that, okay, we control this area of the land. The government should back off. And really, what does this is a huge slap, honestly, to the government. And it's giving me a tongue twister because my state is one of these states, one of these areas that are being affected.
No,
yeah, one of the major states that have been affected
Major.
by this banditry and this government. Because imagine bandits holding a full press meeting whereby citizens come and sit, the press come, they arrange their cameras, their microphones, and the bandits are giving their opinion to the extent of warning the federal government. KB.
Maybe tomorrow we'll wake up and I'll hear a bandit holding a press meeting because he wants to contest for governor too. Because at this point, I don't know whether there are security operatives there or there are bandits. Which one? Who's protecting who? You see, like I always quote, the only way you can have true peace is by making the prospect of war seem hopeless. How dare you, a bandit, threaten a whole government? Everybody is under a government. The way they used to say it on the street, after God, na government. But a bandit leader. So what I want to, when they say they will kidnap somebody, you'll be calling and be talking about ransom. So all this while, do you know where these people are? Because how can they go and hold meeting with them? So they know where these people are. How do you even logically, how do you sit down and talk with somebody that maybe he killed my family member, then you come in? So like everybody now, is this a pattern? Okay, if you go and commit banditry or anything, then you come and say, okay, you want to come down for peace talks, then you go scot-free. Is this an angle for them to escape punishment for their action? Peace talks. And does this mean that our security personnel are not capable, the government are not capable of tackling insecurity, since it has reached the extent that a bandit is pushing, is setting laws for the government, not the government setting laws. So now are we having a government or are we having a bandit
Government
government?
of the bandits.
Because that's what it's trying to do. Are we having a bandit-led government or a government led by government officials? Because how dare a bandit? It's even disrespectful.
It's beyond disrespectful at this point.
It's very
beyond disrespectful because what does the government, when our presidents and foreign ministers go for international conferences and whatnot, how do they actually face other nationals and say, or face other countries and tell them this is the situation of our country? Do they just we have seen a video where
expect somebody to come and invest?
We've seen a video where the president was talking about how he has eliminated corruption in the country. You understand? And we here in Nigeria were wondering, is this same Nigeria?
Maybe we're in different Nigeria.
Exactly.
Probably there's another.
So when you go out and you tell foreigners to come and invest in your country, to come and do business in your country, do you tell them that the country is safe? If it is safe, how do you prove that? Is it with threats like this?
This is actually a picture of what happened in Kogi. So even if you maybe you can lie to us that okay, probably you can say it's propaganda, but these people, it's obvious. Now they are not only kidnapping Nigerians. It started from kidnapping Nigerians to kidnapping foreign nationals to even threatening the government. You know, when I threaten you, I know there's nothing you can do.
Exactly. Or I feel like we're equal.
Yes. Or I'm
And
superior to you. There's
and
nothing you can do.
this
That's
brings
why
me
I'll
back
threaten you.
to the video of during the interview with former Governor Nasir El-Rufai, where he was mentioning that bandits get paid by the Office of the National Security Advisor with cash, and they're being given food, and they're being given drugs. So it's like a business scheme, because at this point, to what level, if they're not seeing eye to eye in the first place? The video is really lengthy. He also spoke about when he was governor, how he said there is no repentant bandit.
Only a dead
Kill them all, destroy them
Honestly.
all. If this was the situation, if this was the approach we were using on these bandits, I don't believe they will have the effrontery to say, to warn the government. Because I feel like if what he's saying is right, and I believe because it's tilting more towards that angle now, that what the former governor is saying is right, that yes, these people are being funded by people in government, these people are being funded by the Office of National Security Advisor, even though they came to disprove it and is claiming. It's trying to show that yes, it is true that there are government hands in these bandits. The weapons they get, the
How do
clothing they
have
wear.
access
Barry,
such?
you if you remember the video of this where this man was giving this conference, he was wearing a military outfit. He was wearing the military cap. And as a common civilian, you can remember, if you could dare wear a camouflage as a citizen walking down the streets and military officials see you, it's like a taboo. It's like you have offended the
They've
gods.
started the war that has no end. Because they want to strip you naked.
I mean,
Honestly.
with this particular issue, when I saw it, that was basically the first thing that came to my mind. I mean, they're wearing, it's the fact that they are brazenly wearing a military uniform, the hats of our military soldiers, and I was confused. Is this the same hats of our soldiers who put out their lives on the line to save our country? Is that what they are wearing as trophies in these videos? Is this a brazen disrespect for our military? Is this one of their trophies? There are certain hunters, when you kill a lion or you kill a certain wild animal, they carry one of the teeth, they tie it around their neck. Is this a war trophy? Is this saying that they have conquered our military and there's nothing you can do about it? And they held a press conference. It was I felt that slap to my face, and it was so bad. And then when we keep talking, like I said last week, we were talking peace talks. I was like, these people are emboldening these people. The sheikh came out that last week and said that don't anger these people. I was like, bandits they meeting where normal human beings dey. Then someone is telling the government that they should leave these people, don't touch them. Then now bandits are holding press conferences and saying, don't, if you come here, we'll kill. If you kill 10 of us today, 20 more will come tomorrow and kill several more people. It is the effrontery and boldness in which they have. And sometimes I ask myself, where is this boldness coming from? And then it comes down to the things that we hear. We hear as rumors, and we just hope that they stay rumors, that they are being funded by the government. I mean, the current vice president, a notorious Boko Haram member, was found in one of his houses. Kabir Sokoto was found in his house.
Exactly. So they are not really beating the allegations.
You're making it hard to beat. And this particular person was allowed to run on a platform of a party. That allegation was not disproved. It was not countered. The person went on and entered office as a vice president, and we're wondering why we're having series upon series of security issues in this country. It's not like we're asking questions that we already know the answers to.
And you see that in addition to what Barry said, what the gang leader said was, when they should not raid, the security should not raid his camp.
Like, we know.
So they know the camp. And is it that he's stronger than the security that's telling them, how many security officials do we have? We have a lot.
But it looks like, when you have a father, when your father is up, like, do your worst. You can't touch me.
Do you know who I am? Do you know the son of who I am?
Yeah, now I get you. I understand.
Do you
I understand you. I
Touch
understand
me.
you. But like how? This, you see, as I said, this was this when they were when they were holding this conference, there were people there.
Yes, there
There
were
were people's
civilians.
wives.
Yes, there were
Like I
civilians
said,
there.
there were people's wives there. Then is somebody's wife was captured, and you are celebrating your wife publicly. How do you think the husband is going to feel? That's why earlier I said it was insensitive. It was not right. But look, well, if we're going to look deeper to this issue, how do these people get access to these guns? Is a question. Is it that are these guns coming through borders? If they are coming through borders, then where are our customs?
One of the information I got while researching on this topic was that some of these, yes, the weapons, some of them do come through the border. You know, our borders are not really as guarded as
Then
they are.
where
We're really
where's the
protecting.
custom?
We're actually checking for illegal import of rice and not guns. It's coming through the borders. It's coming through, I don't know, illegal purchase. You know, because one of the weapons that is seen on these bandits is actually the NATO-approved weapon where we produce it in the country. Sometimes when they overpower the security forces, they do capture some of their weapons. But then how much capturing have they done to have that much number of weapons? And you know, this is where I went into research and I got the information on our budget, the money that goes into security, yes, for each state. Apparently, Borno gets 32.8 billion yearly. Benue gets 15.6 billion. And these are, you know, the hot bandit zones. Ondo has 11.5, Delta on 10.6 billion, Adama on 8.2 billion, Bauchi 8 billion, Zamfara 8 billion. These are billions. When you accumulate all this money, it goes into trillions. And you know, it begs the question, has this turned into a business? Why is this much money going into security and we've still yet not seen results over in decades? Because at this point it has reached a decade or more in this situation, a decade plus of security not being going to 100% with this amount of money being pumped. Is it a business? Is this money being diverted? These weapons that we get are need to approve. Our security forces, they are high-grade weapons. But then when these weapons are not going to the armed forces, I don't know if you are getting the theory. Sorry, I'm coming.
Even add to what you said. Apart from all these states' budgets, the military itself has its own budget.
Exactly.
Apart from the state security budget, there's still another budget for our armed forces. So where is it? Where do we get all this wrong? Where did it all go wrong?
Because
I saw a particular story. I saw a story on, and it's basically answered the question. A naval officer, if you schooled in Zara, you actually heard that particular story of an ex-naval officer being wanted by the EFCC for over 2 billion naira.
Can you imagine that? Almost up to the money.
And these are the monies that are budgeted for security purposes. They are being siphoned by these generals, these brigadiers, these commanders, the high-level officials, and that is why the security situation in Nigeria can never improve, because there are certain people profiting from it and keeping it the way it is. Because if I solve the issue of security today,
where's the budget coming from?
And what do you call it? And I need money to buy a yacht or to live lifestyle. Do you understand? If I need money to do lifestyle, where will I get that same money for if I have already solved the issue of security? So that is why the issue of security is something that it goes on and on. Yes, it's on the loop because certain people are profiting from it. It's a business, it's a franchise right now. And it is saddening why it comes at the cost of our foot soldiers' lives, and it also at the cost of normal the regular day-to-day lives of certain people in Nigeria, because people are being captured, these people are being killed every day by these bandits, but we are doing nothing about it because someone up there is profiting from this. Someone up there is making good cash out from this. And it is sad. And that is what is emboldening these people, because they know the people that are fighting them are just as corrupt as they are. And they just want a piece of the national cake. We saw that one of the bandits that was giving one of these press conferences, because we've had two bandits give press conferences in the past 1 week. Two bandits give press conferences, and this particular bandit was a graduate, first class graduate, from a university
So that's to
in
show how sad
Nigeria,
It was from my state.
from Castina.
Because apparently it was the governor's aide that made mention of this, that these bandits that were
He
saying,
recognized him.
yeah,
He was.
that this, we know this person, and this person was a former best graduating student of a certain university.
So
He
what
didn't- he
went
didn't
wrong?
say.
Nigeria had failed him. You saw that you come out of university and then there are no jobs.
You remember the situation of the best graduate student getting 10,000 naira. from this
10,000 naira. One was
Best
getting
graduating.
a hard strip. Like, what does that do to alleviate the poverty situation in Nigeria?
And you see, that's where I think we look at the issue of corruption. We will look deeper. Because their actions are unjustified. But if you ask them, they'll tell you, okay, where's the money? Why is it that there's no health care for them? Why is it? And if you come and look, the money was there and they've stolen it. Yet somebody said this country is not corrupt.
The people up there are stealing and siphoning these ones. And then they're like, let's take up arms
Then
and also
everybody
kill
should
some for
just-
ourselves. You see our youth also doing yahoo. You see the rise in crime. You see what they call it, rise in one chance. Everybody is looking for fast means to make money because they know that crime is the only thing that pays in Nigeria. They make crime a profitable venture. If our corrupt politicians can as well get away with corruption and crime, they too, they should be able to get away with it. That is the notion, and that is why our society is degrading day by day. It's sickening. It's sad.
I was
but
having a
the truth.
conversation with someone like yesterday. He was now telling me, after I pay ransom, then I'll come and pay tax. After
Can you imagine?
Like pay tax to who?
When-
Who is protecting us?
Where is your
the tax
taxpayer
money we're
money
paying
going to?
goes to security. There's insecurity. They will kidnap somebody who pay ransom, and you will still come and ask him to pay tax. So, and you see, the last thing I would like to highlight is, okay, you said you are having peace talks, yet you people cannot collect this ammunition from these people. Then how do you think, since they still have access to these guns, then what do you think tomorrow?
What is
They
the
can just
guarantee
wake up
that
and
they
say,
won't
okay,
change
they'll
their mind?
honestly, tomorrow they can just wake up and be like, are they bored? Make we enter this village. Just go and... If you're having peace talks, then you surrender these weapons. If you see the commander with over 30 magazines. Where? How does this? This is something that when a military personnel shoots one, he has to come and account for it. How
You're
does a
having
bandit
peace talks
have
with
access-
someone who is holding weapons.
Weapons.
Where is that?
Where is the
that
place?
done?
Live ammunition, you could see it on his chest or just piled up like a vest. And this also begs the question, the audacity of these bandits is really, really coming from, because at this point I'll call it preferential treatment. We've seen a situation where alleged, I won't call it bandit, I'll say alleged secessionist leader Nnamdi Kanu, when he was arrested, he's presently seeking medical health checkup and whatnot from the court, but the court is denying him access to this. Is it because his own interests do not align with those in power? Because we've seen bandits now who have killed unalive so many civilians are being granted peace talks.
Peace talks.
press
The ones
conference.
that are
The
being
peace talk that happened last week, there was a video, there was a documentary they had with him on BBC where he said he personally does not know how many people.
Can you
But he
imagine?
had a peace
I
talk.
happen to attend the
What
stakeholder
kind
He does not know how
of,
many
since
people
Nnamdi Kanu has been arrested, have we heard him speak? Has he been on the press? Was he allowed to speak?
Have
So
we
I
heard
believe
different
this
sides
kind
of the
of
story?
preferential treatment, because at least it's preferential treatment, this kind of preferential treatment is what is giving them this audacity that, okay, I think we are being favored more since we have one or two in power. And the government are not really beating the allegation. The military, the security forces are not beating these allegations just by speaking. Actions is what we want to see.
You have
And-
huge budgets for you. Let the action-
Exactly,
you cannot-
exactly. And if we remember by history, whenever the military has taken over, in the past, whenever the military takes over, it's always usually with the allegation that there is so much corruption in the country. So they take over all the activities of the state and bring in discipline because they believe the military. But even today, we're seeing that, like you mentioned, the ex-naval officer that's been wanted. Imagine what is a military officer being wanted by the EFCC for? But I believe by law, by hierarchy, the military should be superior to EFCC. EFCC should be focusing on civilians, civil servants, government officials, company owners to be recovering funds and fraudulent activities. But then imagine a military officer, a naval officer, someone that's supposed to be protecting is not the one performing activities such as this, being wanted by the EFCC. So the same EFCC that will capture Yahoo boy with placard will now bring an ex-naval. What does that say about
to
our
show
armed
you like
office?
there's a dysfunctional system.
Exactly.
It's the system
Exactly.
of Nigeria that promotes
That's to
this,
show you. Honestly.
this corruption. I mean, corruption is not just at the top right now. It's even in the grassroots. Even the average Nigerian is corrupt. So we're talking about a system that promotes corruption, that rewards corruption, and it's something that we need to deal with as a nation if we want to move forward.
Exactly. And to round up this story, I would also want to point out how this is starting to look like a secessionist thing, whereby bandits are now cutting out parts of Nigeria to be their own territory. Yes, other activities are going on, but activities that they determine can go on. And I want to also bring out to the association that during the secession movement of the Biafra movement back then, when the military was in power, we had a lot of patriotic Nigerians who voluntarily signed into the army just to make sure the numbers were enough to overpower these people and to bring Nigeria back together to fight these terrorists, because they were termed terrorists back then. Has bandage not gotten to the point of terrorism now in Nigeria?
It's a terrorist act.
Because there are certain states you cannot go to. There are certain times. But before,
Obviously,
you could travel 7 p.m., 8 p.m. In fact, you could travel overnight. Now, you could not dare travel anything from 3 p.m. in certain locations. You cannot drive, you cannot pie that road. The road becomes dead.
Don't travel at
Exactly.
night.
They give you a strict one. You can imagine
There are even
the
towns.
same. Listen. Now, here's how I'm linking up this whole story. Remember, NYC came after Biafra. It was to bring a more unified Nigeria, to prosper unity and patriotism. The same NYC is now warning you that do not travel at a certain location, to the extent that people in the east, people in the west, do not want to come to the north by all means. Why? Because we see on the news daily there is banditry. We don't want to be kidnapped. I cannot be going to serve the nation as a patriotic Nigeria to earn 77,000 and they either kill me, or I'm paying from 77,000 naira to I will get. I'm not paying bandit 77 million. You can imagine what kind of taxation is that? It's not making sense. So my question is, why hasn't the bandits been termed as terrorists? Why haven't we gotten to the point that civilians are willing? Because I believe in these areas where banditry is really, really high, the civilians will willingly sign into the army to fight these people, especially vigilantes. We've seen the vigilantes doing a lot when it comes to recovering kidnapped victims. Why hasn't the army opened their doors and provided similar solutions to end this once and for all, if it's truly not a business that they are running, if it is not really just a way of turning taxpayers' money into personal money for the military forces and for government officials? We really do hope we will see much better. We will live in a Nigeria where we will no longer be seeing bandits holding press conferences. We'll be seeing the president holding press conference. We'll be seeing civilians and taxpayers actually holding proper press conference, hailing the government, and not bandits saying, this is our territory, do not come, dear government, last warning. Moving on, the National Agency for the Provision of Trafficking in Persons on Tuesday said it had recovered 8 stolen children from Delta Orphanage. Now, this would ordinarily be seen as good news, and they will be praised. This is their role, this is their function. It will have been a normal day for them. Unfortunately, there has been apparently a long line of allegations on NAPTIP. The people charged with the responsibility of protecting and doing their roles are actually doing the negative. Barry, I believe you have more on this story about the NAPTIP not rescuing these children, but kidnapping these children.
I mean, it is more like the situation of robbing Peter to feed Paul in this instance. According to the story that I heard, indeed 8 children were missing, but it was children that were orphanages that were used to replace them. I mean, is it them going so far just to record a form of success, so to speak, and going to the extent of kidnapping these children? Because I read that really, it was a new discovery for me to find out that people who cannot afford to take care of their children keep their children in orphanage homes. And even one of the one of the owners of the orphanage, her child is also among the children that was also taken. Her husband just died, she's a widow and everything. Her child was among the 8 children that was also taken, and other children too that were taken as well. So these children were there, and then they took them under the guise of taking them for blood tests. According to the story that I heard, they took them under the guise of taking them for blood tests, and only for them not to be returned. And then only for us to see that they have been converted. They dress them in Islamic clothes and everything. It's saddening. And all the NAPTIP could come out to do was to say these are lies, these are baseless allegations and everything. But it's come out, okay, what is your own evidence, what is your own proof, what are your own facts? Come out with your own facts and let's beat these allegations, because it can't be said that the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons is the one trafficking children. It shouldn't be said. It shouldn't be named that way, but certain people are calling out the agency as a trafficking agency, and they shouldn't be slurring their name. I mean, we are talking about trafficking. Trafficking is an issue that has been plagued Nigeria for years, and it's not something that, and we're trying to combat it. It's not something we should hear that the agency that is supposed to be beating this crime is, you don't understand, is the one that is performing this crime. I think the head of NATI should come out and speak on this issue, and they should get to the root of this issue. And then we're also hearing also that these children were moved from place to place. Return them back to their mothers. There are pictures, pictorial evidences of these children with their mothers saying that this is our child. This is our child that has been taken away from us. I mean, if you are a father and you do you understand, and you see your child has been missing for months under the guise of saying you are taking him for blood tests, you are going for a certain
good morning trenches,
only for you to see that they have turned him to a Christian, or they have said that he is one of the people that was what do you call it,
good afternoon wherever you are watching from. Please, if your fingers are
at a certain point. Do you understand? It's sad, and I just hope that these allegations are cleared out.
But you know, in the statement, the statement the agency gave, because this was part of the point. Now, one of the social media influencers that came out to also push this ideology and push this story, because there was an interview of the mother of this child. I think 2 different mothers of different children, talking about how these were their children, and they just saw their children in Kano and they called and whatnot. But then the agency says that these children were actually rescued from these orphanages. They were apparently kidnapped from Kano and taken there. According to their statements, there have been a wide range of kidnap, abduction in Kano, especially in 2017. Talking about, there is actually a syndicate that comes either as traders or in car parks, and they kidnap these children. Allegedly, they just, children are really, really easy and naive, so it's easy to, mislead them. So according to the agency, these people kidnap these children and take them to the east, and they put them in orphanages where they sell the children or whatnot. They say the syndicate normally lives briefly within such a community. They get used to the children and later disappear with them. You know, when you're used to auntie this, auntie that giving me sweet, it's easy for the children to be taken. But then, according to the agency, this is the story that they're saying. They say in the Asaba orphanage, operatives found over 70 children, including newborns, though only 8 were confirmed as those abducted from Kano. They have seen, so these 8 that we're talking about, that they said are children of these women that came to the press and they complained and they said these are their children, were the ones that said they were kidnapped from Kano. So you can now see, this party is saying they were kidnapped from here, and this party are saying they were kidnapped from here.
I mean, sorry to cut you short there. There's a narrative. The women came out. I mean, there are pictorial narratives. There's pictorial evidences to show that these were the mothers of the children. So that being put aside, we're seeing that this NAPTIP came for an operation. So according to the story, this NAPTIP came for an operation in another state. They're looking for children in another community, and then they came to their own. What is the business? What is the consignment of these particular children in this orphanage with the place that we were looking for these children initially? Like, where is the correlation? And then they kidnapped these 8 children that were taken from this orphanage. They are just few of the many other children too that were taken from other orphanages. So I think the NAPTIP has to come out and clear out these allegations. But they do not want a Robin Peter to pay for. They cannot steal my child and give it to another person and say that you have rescued children. You cannot do that. It's not possible.
You know, according to the report, KB, now let's come to you. You know, the organization said on behalf of over 200 parents who are victims of series of abducted children, past and present, they wrote to the director of NAPTIP, and the complaint here now, the issue now in contract that is contracting the story is that there is more abduction from Kano
I mean, these children, no, wait. No, we're talking about these children that have birth certificates.
Okay.
They've come out with their birth certificates. Like, no, it's beat this allegation with facts and proof. These children, you claim that they are not abducted, they are not being trafficked. Bring out the original, like, evidence versus evidence. Bring out your data. I bring my data and my facts. You bring out your data and your facts. We don't want to hear them say. Bring out your facts and everything. Bring out your claim. At least, do you understand? There's documents. At least if a child was born certain place, they will have the documents, they will have the picture on their certificates or passport on their certificate. Bring out these evidences and disprove these lies if they are lies as well. So that's what I think.
Do you think, since the children of these parents, the parents of these children from the east, because basically we say these children have two parents at this point, since their parents from the east have come out to say these are their children with evidence, shouldn't their parents from the north also come out and say, okay, these are our children? And also, NAPTIP said they did this operation together with the DSS.
I think at this point I'll have a personal issue with this DSS. I think at this point, because what's really going on? Everything you hear DSS involved. Where they are supposed to go and do operation is not where they are doing operation. What happened? I think that operation should be done with. That should be the role of the police or civil defense. Then why is the DSS? What? You see, I would say these children, they have parents, just like what Barry said, and if everybody has enough proof that this is my child, then you hand over that child to them. If the people from the east say, okay, this is my child, and there's the proof, enough proof points towards them, then you'd give them. But you won't just come and carry. At some point, at this point, probably I might go out and NAPTIP will ask me for a driving license, because I don't know. Since they don't even know, since they don't know what, they might start asking people for driving license. You might go out, see NAPTIP by the roadside, asking, where's your driver, where's your car papers? At this point, you went for an operation, then you carried people that have parents. Was that part of the initial? I don't know if that was part of the initial operation. I don't know, but I think these people, they need to really get their work straight, because I think they don't really know at this point. I think there should be a reform for them. You won't just come and carry people. You came for this certain operation, then do this certain operation. You just come and pack another. Probably they did not get those children that they went to. Then you'd use another children to cover up for this one. Where's the logic?
It doesn't work. Well, NAPTIP, over to you. The spotlight is on you. We've heard your report, but then we really need to understand, if the DSS was involved, the police should also be involved. These women should go to the police station and it should be publicly reviewed, and we should find out the truth. If NAPTIP is really responsible for this, or there's a bit of misunderstanding that is going on. Moving on, Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, has threatened to drag contractors before EFCC and ICPC. This is coming because during an inspection which he took from the Abuja to the Obajana Junction section of the road on Saturday, the minister was particularly miffed that one of the contractors delivered only 3 kilometers out of 400 kilometers of the contract that was awarded to him 2 years ago. Now listen, this contract was not awarded, let's say, a month or early 2025 or late 2021. No, 2 whole years ago, you were given a 400-kilometer contract and you have delivered only 3. Only 3. Moving deeper, going deeper into the story, he threatened that it's time this private it's actually funny, 3 kilometers out of 400 kilometers is really massive. He threatened that these contractors, it's high time these contractors are being taken to EFCC and being probed by EFCC and ICPC for corrupt practices. Because how do you have the audacity? What have you done with the money to say that out of 400 kilometers you have only done 3 kilometers? And it's not just them. Several contractors, because these kilometers are actually done, several other contractors also that have been given. And if you've ever traveled to Lokoja Kwegi, you will know how terrible the situation of this road is. So is it that the government are now finally doing their work, giving contract, and then the contractors are not the one providing? KB, what do you think about this situation?
I'll look at it from 2 different angles. I'll put blame on each point. Each party will take a blame. Number one, you see, the contractors said there's a systematic issue with forex volatility. It's okay now. Okay, probably in 2023, give me 10 million to execute certain project for you. With the you know the inflation now.
Nigeria rising, Naira rising and falling.
So then probably now for me to do that project, and it's not a project that you can do within months. Maybe to take years, months. Then inflation keeps coming up. From 10 million, that project moves to 20 million. How do you expect that contractor? Will he use it? Let him go and break his safe box and come and do the project?
Uncle.
Facts
and figures. 3 kilometers out of
No, I understand. No, I'm not justifying.
No amount
I'm
of
not
inflation.
justifying.
No amount of inflation can do that. That magic,
I'm not
that magic
justifying.
is too
I'm
much.
I'm just saying probably. At least he should be able to deliver over
Come
300 kilometers. Then secondly, Umahi, if it's you, they kidnap Chinese person in 2023. If it's you, they kidnap Chinese person in 2024. If it's you, they kidnap Chinese person last year, will you go? Will you go to Kogi? It's the same Kogi. Will you go? If it's you personally, would you? So that place, I would actually have to give it to the contractors, because one of the contractors said there is insecurity in Kogi, high level of insecurity. I can because of
How you take do the 12?
It was wait now. Probably now. Let's just assume that. Let's assume he started that work. Now, Mo, he started that work. Then you heard they kidnapped somebody. I'll run away. Forget about government work. Forget any contracts. Now, who they are alive, they do contracts. He would run away for his life. So I think if we people have solved the issue of insecurity, we might have seen more. Because now you cannot come after they kidnapped the Chinese. You cannot tell me, oh, come and go. I'm not doing, bros. I know they do.
Okay.
I know they do. So if they should have tackled the issue of insecurity, I'd blame the government there. But I think they should, when the FCC are going, they should go with cane to flog that contractor, because 3 kilometers out of 400, you are a thief. You are a thief. Honestly,
really funny. It's actually funny.
This calls for proper. Before they start, let them first flog him. The remaining 397 kilometers, they'll give him 397 strokes before they even start talking. Because we are part of, you see, that's why I said, that's why sometimes if you understand that's why the government prefers giving contracts to foreigners. Because of their high level of professionalism.
But
okay,
this is
how, and they'll come and be, okay, like how people say, why are they giving Julius Berger? While they can deliver, there's high level of profession. Now they gave you 400 kilos. You did not even deliver 390. Three. Out of 4, you are a thief.
That we trek 3 kilometers. That will just trek 2 and 4.
Honestly,
no.
That's why you see the reason. Now you people have seen the reason why government prefers giving.
And the sad part is that these contracts that are being given are not being awarded in hundreds of thousands or millions, or hundreds of millions. It's in billions. When I mean billions, in multiple billions. So you can imagine this is really a very precarious, it's a very bumpy issue. How are you being awarded billions of naira in contracts and you are delivering slowly? Because the Minister of Works still mentioned that companies that were giving contracts like Soji were doing badly. Some were doing perfect work, but then their pace is very slow. And then you can't rush greatness. Exactly. This has to be done properly. We understand that. That's why these contracts have been awarded over years. But then when you have a situation where you have been given 400 kilometers and in 2 years you have done 3 kilometers. By the time you are done, if you are doing 3 kilometers every 2 years, how many years will it take you to finish 400 kilometers? By the time you are done, the first 3 kilometers you did might have already gone away.
I mean, we're talking about projects that are awarded by an administration. How long is the president's tenure? 4 years. He awarded you a contract. 2 years down the line, you haven't delivered. Out of 400 kilometers, you have not delivered
only 3.
Jack. You delivered 3.
Starter.
Is it for my? Is it for beans? You delivered 3. And then we talk about this. We talk about Nigeria not moving forward. Nigeria is not moving forward. It's not developing. We are giving you projects. Where's the
patriotism?
Do you understand? They're giving you projects to execute. You are not doing it. Not only is it bad, it is a bad name for the entire government as well, because monies are being spent, and then within that time frame, there are certain projects that you expect to have completed within a time frame. Okay, this is what I have done under 4 years. This is what I have done under 4 years. These are time-based projects. You can't say that you do something that is meant to be for 1 year, and then you will not take 100 years to do it. When will he get the praises for his administration and everything? So it's saddening that it's more like sabotaging his administration. It's more like it's tantamount to sabotaging his administration. These things are supposed to be completed under his tenure.
Yeah, but Barry, we have to even look at it from another angle, deeper into corruption. Because there was a contractor a few years back that I had a conversation with, where he said, for them to get awarded the contract, if they're awarding you a contract of 1 billion, there are certain people you are going to give percentage. So what do you think? Maybe you are giving him a contract, you're giving maybe allegedly commissioner. You're giving him 1 billion naira contract. He's giving commissioner 100 million. He's giving deputies, bringing return to deputy government.
It's like you're friends with one of these contractors.
So what do you think? If he does not deliver, there's nothing that can happen, because he shared money.
My chief, if they awarded and then get us, then go cut them, go fit with that money that has been given, you not have completed at least 200 kilometers. There is no how that out of 400 kilometers, you won't have completed 200 kilometers. If you are not fantastically corrupt, there is no how.
It must be a greater evil.
Do you understand? We talk about government being evil, but you as a citizen, you as a contractor, where you are being one of the thorns in the flesh of Nigeria. It's saddening, but it's time we wake up and see the corruption in each and every one of us.
Honestly,
take out
that's to show you how deep corruption
in your eye, and before you start looking for log of wood in other people's eyes.
That's to show you how deep corruption has. Where our president said there's no corruption, but I think this is to show you how deep it has gone through our system. Contractors could see, insecure security could see. So honestly now, but for you to deliver 3 out of 400, this is the case.
Point.
This is a terrorism case. This is a terrorism case. 4 out of 3. 400 out of 3 out of 400. This is equal to terrorism. You are also a bandit. You are also a bandit for this, honestly.
Well, we hope these contractors will take this threat seriously, and we really do not need them to be threatened before they do better. And moving on, an honorable mention over the weekend, according to the story, a top FCT official enrolls 2 of his sons into public school. And this is just a mention. The official is a mandate secretary for education in the Federal Capital Territory Administration. He enrolled 2 of his children into GSS Piakasa. This is just to rebuild the trust of Abuja citizens and Nigerians nationwide say, because there's always this issue of, we believe politicians and those in power do not really send their children to public school because they have no faith in public school, because public schools are dwindling down. But this man believes that the public education is still active and it's still good to go. So we do not really need to be sending our children to private schools or flying them out of the country. This is his own belief. I would like to see, we like to see more of this. We like to see more government officials, more politicians sending their children to public school. Let their children tell them what really is going on there, because I believe in the power of preference. This is a democratic system of government. You have the choice and free will to do what you want, send your children to whichever school you want to. But that should not be a judgment of you neglecting the people who choose to go for government schools that you have been left in charge of. You do not now handle these things properly, and then you allow them to be suffering poor education, poor educational facilities while children are enjoying. So we do hope we see more of this from government officials, and there is a proper reform going on. And moving on to a gruesome story, 13-year-old's body was found in Singa. Well, I know this is really a serious case, but then what name is this? D4VDS. Apparently his name is David. He's an artist, a musician, and a 13-year-old's body, well, as of the time of her death, she was 13 years old. Her dead body was found in his car, in his Tesla car, while the musician was on tour. Although the report says that he is partnering and cooperating with the police. This was in the United States. He was partnering and cooperating with the police to brought him to say, but although he has not been arrested, his tour has not been because he was on tour, he was doing concerts. He cancelled it when this report came in, and then he has been partnering and cooperating with the police. But then that also begs the question, what really was going on? Because apparently he has a song where he released with the title, I believe, Romantic Homicide. You know, we have this issue of gangsters or artists committing crimes, and then they go ahead to sing about these atrocious activities that they do. They snitch on themselves. That's the report on it, that they snitch on themselves. So this particular artist sang a song, Romantic Homicide, which people are now linking to this story that he killed this lady, even though she was a minor. Probably he killed her because she was a minor. And the lyrics, part of the lyrics of the song goes, "And I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive. Oh, 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 in the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you." Barry.
I don't know.
Snitching.
I think Americans are creative with their investigations. They are more. For me, I feel this evidence is circumstantial at best, because I don't believe, I don't know, maybe certain people will actually stick to that extent, but I don't believe I will murder someone and write a song about it, about killing someone, when I know it can be presented as evidence. I don't think anyone is that stupid, but we've seen situations where people are actually psychopaths and they actually do things like that. So there's that narrative, and then there's the other. But all I can say right now, because for now, really, I don't know. At the end of the day, he's innocent until proven guilty, and I don't think this particular evidence is enough to nail him or pin him to the crime. But yes, he's this person was found in his car, dead. So was it that she was planted there by someone who actually wanted to frame him, or could it be that he actually killed this girl? This is left for the investigators to do their work. Please let the investigators do their work. I really do not like this kind of
It's like snitching.
I don't know. I feel like it's more like, at the end of the day, it's circumstantial evidence. It's circumstantial evidence. It really, for me, I don't, if I'm the person that is the judge, I would just laugh and throw it out, because it's not enough to keep someone in prison. And I think for that actual lyrics to be out there, I think someone is trying so hard to pin, like, who is going through lengths to pin a murder on him, who could actually benefit from the death of his career. Those are also the questions we should ask. And also for the girl, there are other investigations that need to be done. Who was she last seen with, how, and everything. So there are so many questions, but we just hope that the security operatives do their work and get to the root of it.
Well, we'll be bringing you more as the story unfolds on this issue. And our final story for the day. We're still back to this first thing. Gunmen attack Deputy Inspector General of Police home in Enugu State. The details here says that the Deputy Inspector Governor of the Police, Frank Umba's home was invaded on Thursday, September 18, in Ezimu community. That was last week. Attack details says that these were suspected to be herdsmen. They attacked GIG Umba's residence around 7 p.m., killing a police officer that was attached to his home. And also, it is unclear whether the government wanted to abduct the Deputy Inspector of Governors and the Deputy Inspector General of the Police family members, or this was just a random attack. Apparently, the community says that this was an attempt at his family members to be abducted, kidnapped. But then the story has been changed by the police. They said, no, this was not the situation. The situation was that there was a viral attack within the community, within the society, and there was like a viral attack within the community and society, and that it was not directly at his family members, that it was just something random, although a police officer was gunned down. So they were just passing by. Exactly.
So they said.
That was what they said. And that was the situation. we do hope this is not them just trying to cover up the story and it was just truly a random attack. But if it was a random attack, we do hope the culprits are going to be apprehended. They did also mention that a suspect was apprehended for relating to the case, and he has been cooperating, and they have actually been getting information. And well, again, like I mentioned, we hope this is not what we think it is, and the security forces are doing their best and they are doing their work. We will bring more on that story as it unfolds when the suspect says everything and then these people are apprehended and the unknown gunmen are finally known. This is the morning break, and I remain Abbas Muhammad.
And I'm Barry to the world.
And I'm Chief, the one and only Chief.